One of the books you'll be reading is Lead Like Jesus Revisited. And it's by Ken Blanchard, who wrote The 1 Minute Manager, but also Phil Hodges and Phyllis Hendry. What is leadership? You'll find hundreds and hundreds of books on leadership. But who is the best model for you to follow? This book by Blanchard, Hodges, and Henry, entitled Lead Like Jesus Revisited, encourages us to have a biblical perspective on leadership. More often than not, people in church and outside the church would get their definition of leadership and model their leadership on other successful people, maybe parents or others in business. No matter what you may think your calling is, each of us is a leader. And we're either going to be a life role leader or an organizational leader. You'll find out what those two distinctions are in this book. But Blanchard here tells us that Jesus is the greatest leadership role model ever. He was a servant leader. So says Blanchard. And that's where we should begin, to do what Jesus did, to say what Jesus said, with the same spirit with which He said it, and live by the same principles that Jesus lived by. Jesus had 4 domains that aligned His leadership to His purpose and calling. It was the Jesus heart, head, hands, and habits. His 4 most important leadership habits were the habit of experiencing solitude, the habit of practicing prayer, the habit of knowing and applying Scripture, and finally, the habit of maintaining supportive relationships. As you read sections of this textbook, you'll watch video teachings and you'll answer questions. You'll think about how our leadership can reflect Jesus more and more every day, especially when things in life and ministry get a little tough. I'm praying for you. God bless you as you learn to lead like Jesus. Now again, if you have any questions, please call Dr. Higashi. His number is 808-888-9124. Some of you may have questions along the way on how to post your assignment or the software Canvas that may be new to you. So take your time to get to know how to use it, and be sure to watch your due dates, by the way, the times that your assignments are due, because it's posted digitally and there are timestamps on your assignment because it's being digitally recorded and posted on the East Coast and at the East Coast time. So be sure to calculate it correctly. For example, if it says that your assignment is due at midnight, people in Hawaii, your due date or your due time could be 6 hours earlier, depending on daylight savings time, of course. It does affect your grade if you're late, so be cognizant of that. God bless you. Lead like Jesus, and when you do, people begin to see less of you and more of Him.